What's going on, everyone? Well, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are doing everything they can in order to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo, including signing two of his brothers, right? Thanasis, who has been, on and off the Milwaukee Bucks roster for years now at this point. And now Milwaukee has signed Alex Antetokounmpo, who is the youngest brother of that, Giannis, Thanasis, Costas, and then now Alex is the youngest one. He's 24 years old, right? The Milwaukee Bucks have signed him to a contract to make Giannis more comfortable. That's why it was said, right, that they brought him in to make it more comfortable. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been doing this. The Milwaukee Bucks have been doing this long before Bronny James was ever a Laker. And look, I have been very defensive of it. I have no issues with nepotism, right? Welcome to the real world, right? Like, it's so funny seeing all these people like, nepotism. I don't hear any nepotism conversations about Giannis. I don't hear any nepotism conversations about how he's had every one of his brothers on the Milwaukee Bucks at some point and now has two on a roster that's probably not good enough to win. I don't hear everybody going like, those are wasted roster spots. The Milwaukee Bucks aren't good enough. This is a great example to show it's not about nepotism. It's not. No one cares, right? It's about LeBron James and his son, Bronny. That's some Laker fans. That's non-Laker fans. That's LeBron haters. That's, everybody that's screaming it. Because, again, all we've heard from the moment the Lakers landed Bronny is nepotism this, nepotism that, blah, blah, blah. But Giannis has done it for years. And I even used Giannis as an example when I made a video defending the whole nepotism thing, right? Like, nobody cares. No one's talking about, Giannis on a bad Milwaukee Bucks team and they're wasting roster spots signing his brothers, right? Who aren't even in the league. These Bronny, other teams wanted to draft, take a flyer on. He brought in, you've seen the growth of improvement from him. He actually looks like a basketball player, right? Like, he still has work to do. He's still probably a year or two away from really being there. But he's also just turned 21. He's younger than our draft pick, Adu Thero, right? Like, in 2 years, who knows where he's at, right? And he's showing promise. You're seeing him. He looks like a completely different player from last year to this year, right? His shot, his touch isn't quite there yet, but he's getting to all his spots. He's beating guys off the dribble. He's making plays. He's had some highlights, right? Had some nice offensive sequences, some excellent defensive sequences. Yes, he still needs some work on the defense side of things. He gambles too much, right? He overhelps. He's too reliant on his athleticism. Right? He needs to learn better kind of defensive positioning so that way he doesn't have to just rely on his athleticism. You see, he tries to kind of give too much of a driving lane because he thinks I'm athletic enough to get back or I can reach around and get the steal, right? Pause, right? And I'm good, right? Like, that's kind of what. So there's things he needs to work on. There's things he needs to improve on. But he looks good. Right? Like, watching him in preseason, he looks comfortable out there. He looks confident out there. He's getting to his spots, right? He's going to be an NBA player. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar. I'm not saying he's going to be anything more than the eighth guy on the roster. But you need that guy. Bronny James is the ideal kind of player the Lakers need. Can defend 1 through 3, hyper athletic, got the foot speed, can make plays, handle the ball a little bit, initiate your offense, right? He could be a guy that replaces Gabe Vincent in a year or two that, is perfectly slotted in, right? But because he's LeBron's kid, everyone screams nepotism. He's only on the roster because of that. What about Giannis? I even gave it a day or two because I was like, all right, surely people are going to be crying and complaining about this. Not a peep. You don't hear nothing. There's no blow up. There's not people freaking out. Oh my God, like, why is Giannis his brother? Like even Milwaukee fans don't care, right? Because no one cares. There have been tons of players in the league that have only gotten there because of their dad or whatever. At least Bronny worked up. People forget Bronny was a projected top 20 pick coming in the league. He was projected before he went to USC. I think it was 17th. I think he was projected 17th with the Atlanta Hawks. He was a 5-star pro. Like, he was a guy that was looked at as like a really good basketball player and then had the cardiac arrest and it changed everything. The fact that he's still even on the court, but he was projected as a top tier player coming into the draft, a first round pick. Teams wanted to draft him. right? Like Rich Paul had to call teams and tell him no. He had to force his way to the Lakers, right? Because teams wanted to draft him. So again, it's not like it was a guy that was off, randomly, at the end. Like again, what players drafted after him are doing anything in the league, right? Like it's so funny. People are like, "Oh, you could have drafted somebody else that was more deserving." Who are undrafted guys that are doing as well? Like again, there's not that guy. It's so funny. So to me, I just think this whole thing, again, it just proves it's not about nepotism. It's about LeBron. And I've been very defensive of nepotism. Look, I wish I had a family member or a relative or a friend or something like that could just be like, hey, here, you want a high paying job? You want, to be in the NBA or something like that? I didn't get that lucky, right? I have to grind. I have to make 50 videos a day. I have to work my tail off in order to get to where I want to go to, right? I have a long journey ahead of me. But nepotism, that's how the world works, right? Like everybody, most people, most successful people had help. Everyone needs help, right? Like nobody becomes successful by themselves, right? I'm not even successful yet. I am far from where I want to be as a YouTuber and a content creator, all this stuff. But guess what? I'm not even in the position I'm in right now if it wasn't for other people. And no, I don't have an editor. I don't have any people that work for me. I do everything by myself. Every channel you see me on is all just me by myself doing all of the work, right? But I have thousands of people that help me and support me. And it's all of you guys. I am a crazy guy talking to himself, screaming in his room if it's not for all of you guys, right? Nobody gets anywhere without help. If you start a business, you need patrons to come in, whether it's a restaurant. If no one eats at your restaurant, guess what? You're not getting any money. You're not going to have success. If you open a store, right, and you sell a product, guess what? If no one buys that product, you're not doing anything. Nobody has success. Whether it's, hey, here's a job, here's whatever. Do some people get a better head start than many of us? Sure, right? But again, welcome to the real world. And every single one of you would take that opportunity if they could. All the people crying about nepotism, if they had an uncle or somebody that could come up and be like, hey, do you want a $100,000 a year job for doing nothing? You would gladly go, yes, right? Would you not? So is it nepotism if you were to do it? But because you don't have that, you want to scream nepotism, right? It's silly, right? Because we'd all do it. I don't have that. And if somebody offered me tomorrow, hey, here's, 500,000 to just basically talk Lakers, sign me up. Thanks, cousin, right? Or whoever, right? We all would. So the whole nepotism thing, I think, is ridiculous. Again, it's how the world works. Everyone needs somebody to give them a head start. No one gets anywhere because of that, right? It's just, but again, it's proof. This is further proof. It's not about nepotism. It's about LeBron James. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.